Welcome back to our show. Today we are talking about boy-girl relationship. This is a diverse topic, very fascinating and complex indeed. And today I'm humbled to have two professionals that have been dealing with youths in studio. With me from my extreme end, I'm with brother Francis Monari, who is a psychologist, assistant dean of students Kisii University. He is also a Catholic religious and the founder and president of How Foundation. Brother Francis has dealt with the youth in a wider range, ranging from Kisii University, having dealt with the students there, and also as a mentor, he has mentored so many people. In the middle, we have our lady, Sheila Mongute, who is a counseling psychologist. Sheila Mongute is a student counselor at Kisii University, and she has so much passion in and about the youth, and the deputy president of our foundation. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, both of our guests have been dealing with the youth, and I would like them to tell us briefly about our foundation. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And feel at home. Now, I'll like to welcome you guys. Our topic of the day is on boy-girl relationship. And I believe you guys have had vast experience, ranging from Brother Francis having dealt with and still dealing with the youth up to now as the assistant dean of students, Kisii University. My sister, Sheila. Sheila is a counseling psychologist. I believe you've also interacted with so many challenges that the youth faced. Now back to our topic, which is boy-girl relationship. I'd like us to maybe give an understanding of what we believe or what do you feel in a professional perspective is a boy-girl relationship. I'll start with Brother Francis.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think this is a very important and timely discussion considering what our society is going through today. And even before I go into the professional dimensions of what a boy-girl relationship is, I really want to speak that our society is sick today because we have lost the relational nature of humanity. Human beings are not just social beings, they are relational beings. And that means that there is inbuilt in us a dimension that demands that we relate with one another, that we encounter one another as beings, not as objects. And if we have to move a little bit towards what we're going to discuss about today, a boy-girl relationship is deeply rooted in the nature of how we were created. When God created us, if we just borrow from the scriptures, it says that he created them, man and female. He created them. He created us so that we can be in companionship, so that we can company with one another. And that is the beginning of our relationships. So it is important to identify that when we're speaking about boy-girl relationship, we are speaking of a deep-rooted reality that is so intimate to the human nature. And therefore, a boy and a girl relating, maybe I don't want to go into any area. I just want to leave it at this, that this is part and parcel of what grows them to become who they responsibly are supposed to be in the society.
Wow. That is so great from Brother Francis. And in short, if I got you right, Brother Francis, what you're trying to communicate to us is that boy-girl relationship is a wider kind of perspective of relationship. And back to maybe Sheila, what do you think about boy-girl relationship in relation to, we have a way that the society understands a boy-girl relationship, and now from your skills as well, what would you put a boy-girl relationship into? Because this is it's a heavy topic today, and we want to at least share about boy-girl relationship.
To add to what brother has said, I'll start even down from the Bible. God created Adam and Eve. We can look at it from that perspective. And a boy-girl relationship, definitely, it has something to involve attraction, the attraction point of view. So mostly, from the way I look at it, it's that aspect of probably attraction between different sexes, in whereby sometimes it might be physical attraction, sexual attraction. It depends from what perspective somebody is looking at it. Yeah.
Thank you. Now, we are referring to what you've shared with us. I tend to understand that boy-girl relationship is pinned on relational human beings being relational beings. And now, talking of boy-girl relationship, what do you think? What do you think about why should a boy-girl relationship be encouraged?
Let me just say something that I think is continuously sickening us. And basically, the point here is that the society has stereotyped. We have come to a situation whereby relationships are always seen that when it's opposite sex relating, especially at a tender age, people already ascribe sex and ascribe diseases and ascribe pregnancy. And this to some extent has kind of stereotyped the relationships that we have and has continued to create problems in our society today. One of the things that I believe in is that, one, relationship is very important, and these young people, male and female, boy and girl, need to be encouraged to relate for many reasons. But I just want to give a few. One of the reasons, and I want to give it from basically the general nuances that are available in society. I'm dealing and handling young people, and I have situations where now the level of gaze, we are speaking about lesbian and sodomy, is at a very high and advanced level. And all this is because partly, I think, not necessarily, and remember I'm a psychologist here, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth.
I understand.
But I want to say that this thing of sexual orientation, I have a lot of reservations about it. For me, it is the socialization that goes along the boy and girl that either scares them away from relating, or creates a diversionary tact, or creates a defense mechanism, which ends up giving us guys who are not straight in their sexual orientation or their sexual practice. So if we are going to be able to heal some of these ills of the society, one, we must encourage the boy-girl relationship. But number two, we are talking about responsible parenthood. We are talking about the future of our generation. We're talking about the future of humankind. For us to be able to have responsible parents, we must have people who begin from a young age, who are taught how to relate with value. They are taught how to relate within a value system, not people who are ostracized just because they have been seen together.
That's true.
Number three, we have a difficult situation considering what the media is presenting to our young people from the Western world. And unless we begin allowing our young people to start interrogating what this is meaning to them, then we are easily losing all the values, corroding all the aspects that we aspire in relationships. So for me, I would say, maybe we need to say there are the boundaries and parameters that young men and women need to be encouraged to follow. But I am going to underscore and say, boy-girl relationship is a must. And for any mother out there, for any father out there who is trying to cajole his son or his daughter not to relate, you are doing a grave mistake that you will live to regret.
Wow. That is great. So it means, therefore, that we if I got you right, we need to encourage boy-girl relationship in our societies. And in case now we have a society that has set some beliefs and some norms, I wouldn't say they're norms, but maybe we have standards, societal standards that are being followed that has kinda infringed the boy-girl relationship. You could refer, maybe if you refer to the traditional perspective and the modern perspective. And that brings me to a very, very critical question. Maybe my sister Sheila can help us there. You realize that when we have a boy-girl relationship, which Deacon Francis says is a wider kind of perspective that you can't just narrow down. It depends with the dimension you want to take with it. I feel that I would wish to get your opinion on the ins to assist us in developing. How do we develop a healthy relationship? A healthy relationship in relation to boy-girl relationship.
So, to answer your question, I'll actually speak about the steps that one goes through to make a complete relationship. And always the first stage is the one that we call the romance stage. In this stage, it's whereby the boy and the girl, they're attracted to each other, physically mostly. And at this stage, it's whereby, mostly it lasts from 2 months to 2 years. And mostly it's whereby you'll find like the boy and the lady, they're talking overnight for like 3, 4, 5 hours. They might not have anything to talk about, but they love the company of each other. They talk about those things a lot. And at this stage, it's whereby the two of them are dating. And this stage is very important because it's whereby you get to know the other person. You get to learn what the other person likes, what the other person doesn't like, what are the goals. This is where you have to speak about the goals of the relationship. This is whereby you have to know the values of the other person. And actually, the first 2 stages of the relationship are very critical. And the second one is the power wrangling phase, whereby now you get like the 2 people start seeing the flaws in each other. When they are at the romance stage, it's you see the other person has flaws, but they don't even disturb you. But now at this second stage, you get that now you start seeing the other person's flaws and they start irritating you. You want to change some things in the other person. And now you start like quarreling, you start having troubles. And in most cases at this stage, it's whereby you get many people coming to counseling. And most people actually, there are some who get through this stage successfully and others don't get through it successfully. So that's why I said like the first 2 stages, they are very important. Then the third one is the stability stage, whereby after the power wrangles and everything, they're a bit stable. There are problems, yes, but they're somewhat stable. They have started learning to deal with their problems. But still, if the couple or the boy and the lady, if they don't take consideration into the relationship, sometimes they might get themselves going back to the second stage. So it's still very critical. Now, after they have gained that stability, they go to the commitment stage. Now, this is where you find many people deciding like, now, I think we can get married, actually. We need probably to establish our lives together. I think we can move in together. We are good together. Now, at this stage, this is the one that leads to now the last stage, which is the co-creation. Okay. And I think we both understand the co-creation. We start thinking of a family. We want to build a house together. Yeah. Now you stop thinking about me and my husband or me and the other person. You know, now you have a family, there are kids to come in. But if we look at our society today, it's like we have reshuffled the stages. Because you get like some people come in, they meet, they get attracted and they start cohabiting. They start the commitment stage even before they start knowing each other.
The vice versa has become true.
Yeah, and they don't even discuss about the goals. You start like moving into the other person's house without even discussing. Like, is this a long-term relationship or is it a short-term? Where are we heading? And then after some time, probably you discover this pregnancy or something. Now it's where you start like, I wasn't ready or something like that. So it's very good to at least know the other person before deciding to get to the commitment stage. It's good to go through the whole process of the relationship stage. Instead of jumping, then it comes back to problems. Yeah.
Thank you. It is very important to get to know the relationship you're getting into.